welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kat. I make videos about books, writing, and the random things living rent-free in my neurodivergent brain. As you can see, I'm not in my usual location. I'm currently spending a few days in the mountains, having a cozy weekend, doing a lot of reading and exploring. Today, I wanted to wrap up the week 6 of the Write for Life program, which is also the final week. Last week, I was traveling for work, so I knew it was going to be difficult for me to walk through the chapter, do the exercises and things like that. So I did it this week and I'm wrapping up now. So yeah, last week was work travel week. I still really try to do my morning pages and do my daily quota. I'm quite happy with myself because I really, again, push myself to get those done. It was not possible every day because the trip was very exhausting, but I still did them most days. My plan for the artist date was to go see some bookshops in Antwerp in Belgium where I was traveling. Sadly, I had some issues with my train back, so I had to go to the train station earlier to get that sorted, so I didn't get to see the bookshops, which I'm a bit sad about. So I didn't do an artist date last week and I didn't do the walks either. This week I also struggled a little bit, to be honest. I did my morning pages and daily quota, I would say half the days of the week. Work was pretty intense and draining this week, overall for the past 3 weeks, to be honest. And so I can really see the impact that has on me doing the morning pages and the daily quota. So I think it's an interesting lesson and kind of a good barometer of me just understanding when work is taking too much of my energy and mental space. I can see that reflected in how much I'm doing my morning pages and daily quota. So that's kind of a little alarm bell that I can have for myself. In terms of daily walks and daily quota, again, because I'm traveling, I'm not really doing them in the way they're intended in the artist date when you're supposed to be alone and taking that time for yourself. I'm traveling with my husband, so that wouldn't count for a proper artist date in the way it's intended, but it's still very beneficial and really helps me rest, relax, and refill my creative well. In terms of moving forward, I'm not sure I'm gonna keep doing the morning pages as thoroughly as I was doing before. I'm not certain that they're bringing enough positive things to me to compensate for some of the frustrations that they also come with. So I will see. I would still like to be journaling fairly regularly, but I might not force myself to write every single day and to force myself to do 3 full pages. So we'll see how that goes. In terms of daily quota, I would like to keep it up. Again, probably not every single day, and I also want to be a bit more flexible about the amount that I write. So yes, ideally 250 words every day, that would be amazing, but I know from experience that there are days when I'm very drained and very tired, and so even if I can write 10 words, that's still better than nothing. I would try to do the 250 and maybe sometimes more than that. But yeah, I also want to be comfortable and happy with myself on those days where I still get a tiny bit of writing down, just keeping things moving. And also recognizing that thinking about my story is also in a way writing. As long as I'm keeping up with my work every day, except when I'm actually taking a vacation or a break, then I would be happy. The artist dates, I would like to keep doing them as well. I think they're very beneficial. They're a very nice thing to do for oneself. So I will try to keep it up. I'd want to keep them fairly simple though, because I tend to put pressure on myself to do something original, something different that doesn't fit into my usual routine. And I don't need that extra pressure. So even if it's just doing a puzzle while listening to an audiobook, that should still count for a nice artist date. As for the weekly walks, that's the one thing I quite struggle with, and so I don't think I'll keep it up with it. If I can do 1 walk a week, that would be really nice, but otherwise I can walk at home on my treadmill, and I could try to do a bit more of those meditation/daydreaming sessions that I try to implement. Those were really nice, very beneficial, kind of forcing me to stay still, not look at a screen, and just be with my thoughts. So I think that's a good thing to do more of, at least for me. So I might try to keep that up and do that a bit more regularly. Overall, I think the Write for Life program was a positive experience for me. I have some reservations, which I already spoke about, I think, in previous videos. Things like just the writing style of Julia Cameron being a bit repetitive, talking about the weather a lot, which was not my favorite things. Some of the essays being a bit superficial, at times also being a bit too prescriptive, like this is the way to do things and that's the only way. I don't really enjoy that usually about writing, because I don't think there is one way. I think every writer is different and there's always exceptions to the rules. I also had questions around how do you keep up with the daily quota during editing time and things like that. She talks a little bit in the last chapter about finishing your first draft, moving on into a second draft, and polishing and all of that, but it's still not entirely clear what she does with the kind of regular practices that she describes in the book. She doesn't explicitly say that she stops writing during that period. I mean, it seems obvious, but it kind of contradicts what she was saying earlier about doing the daily quota every single day. So it's still a question mark for me. I'm pretty clear on what I would do, but yeah, I don't think the book provides clear answers on that front. But despite those reservations, I think the toolbox and the framework that is provided is very helpful. Again, like it puts deadlines on things, so it makes it easier to launch into those practice. It can feel very intimidating to be thinking of writing every single day if you have not been doing it already, or to some extent, like I was pretty much starting from scratch, and so doing it for 6 weeks, like having that time frame makes it easier, I think, to get into it and then to hopefully continue after the program is done. Overall, for me, that was very beneficial. I think I'm at around 15,000 words into my project, which might not sound like a huge amount for 8 weeks of writing, but it's still way more than I would have done otherwise. So I'm quite excited and I'm keen to keep going and try to get that project through the finish line and then revise it, edit it, make it as good as it can be, and we'll see from there where it goes. Thanks so much for watching and joining me through that journey. I hope it was somewhat interesting, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.